Today I'm gonna marathon the Haunting of Bly Manor, which just dropped on Netflix today, and I got my marathon food. I'm gonna finish the entire show today, guys. All right, guys. So it took a lot of pizza and a lot of ice cream to get through today because binge watching the Haunting of Bly Manor was a very long period of time. Bly Manor it consisted of 9 episodes on Netflix, and each episode was about 50 minutes long. So I was sitting in front of the TV for about 8 hours, a little more than 8 hours, and I feel it right now. That's why I look so tired right now. Before I start, I do want to say this is not the kind of show you can binge watch because it's got a really slow pacing to it. This is not like the first season, The Haunting of Hill House. That one moved a lot faster than this one. So if you're a big fan of the first season, you can't necessarily assume you're going to like this one too. But I did. So let me give you my review, and I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to be spoiler free. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. So I'm going to be really quick and very general so that you guys can get a review, what I think, without spoiling the plot or any of the twists for you guys, but that would be unfair for you. So yeah, this is dropped on Netflix, and I was excited to watch this because I loved the Haunting of Hill House. Now, this isn't really a spoiler, but this plot has nothing to do with the original plot. I mean, it has nothing to do with the Haunting of Hill House plot. They are completely unrelated. The only thing that's similar are some of the actors, and some of the style is similar in terms of atmospheric horror. But what makes this season different than the first season of The Haunting is the pacing. The pacing is really, really slow and deliberate in Bly Manor. It's really slow. In fact, it was so slow that I was yawning a couple of times, and I actually started to doze off a few times, so I had to recharge by throwing water on my face, eating ice cream, because yeah, it was really slow. And after watching something that's this long, I was getting a little tired. But yeah, so the pacing is really slow, and a lot of that is due to the way that the script is written. This is like all dialogue. It's just nonstop dialogue, and honestly, it was kind of getting annoying because there's a golden rule of screenplay that says, show me, don't tell me. And I feel like the person who wrote the script got a little overboard with the dialogue. It was just dialogue after dialogue after dialogue, and it was kind of irritating, to be honest. But in that dialogue, there was a story to be told, and if you're awake enough to pay attention to the story is pretty good. And for the most part, 8 out of 9 episodes were consistent with that tone. There was one episode, though, that was extremely repetitive, and I did not like that. That was episode 8. And if you watch that, you're going to see where it gets pretty repetitive. I know they were trying to go for a style there, but episode 8, it seemed really out of place with the remaining episodes of Bly Manor. So yeah, this is not the kind of show you can binge watch. I mean, I did it, but I was powering through these, and I was like, I was falling asleep during some of them. But I stayed awake so I can catch all the story. I do want to say, even though I'm complaining right now, I think the last episode, it totally justified my 8 hours of watching. Episode 9, it finally gave me a rewarding emotional reward for watching all that. So I think the finale, at least for me, was reward enough for all that I watched. But throughout the season, throughout those 9 episodes, there are some pretty good, genuine, good elements of storytelling in that. It's just there's a lot of dialogue that you have to sift through. And this one's not really a spoiler, but I gotta say this. Oh, hi, Mark. Yeah, there was a really funny cameo in this season of The Haunting, and yeah, that's not really a spoiler. More of a cameo spoiler, I suppose. and has nothing to do with the Haunting story. It's just an actor that I really do enjoy watching in other movies. So, yeah, there's a lot of talking in this, and the pacing is really slow, but I think there is a reward if you can stick it out through all 9 episodes. That's my verdict of this. And again, you can't expect to like this Bly Manor just because you like The Haunting of Hill House. They are very different in pacing, extremely different. Hill House has very good pacing, a lot more fast paced, a lot more intense. But this one, I felt like if this was a car, this would have been a car riding with the brakes on the entire way. So that's how I felt. And that's pretty much all I want to say about this. I'm still glad I watched it. I just feel like they could have trimmed that dialogue down a lot more and definitely do something with the pacing. That pacing was way off.